And now, our feature presentation.
I was fine with the men who would come into her life now and again. I was fine, 'cause I knew that they didn't really matter until you. I was fine when you came, and we fought like it was all some silly game over her, who she'd choose. After all those years, I never thought I'd lose. It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it over? It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it over? You won, and she chose you, and she loved you, and she's gone. It's over, isn't it? Why can't I move on? War and glory, reinvention, fusion, freedom, her attention. Out in daylight, my potential, bold, precise, experimental. Who am I now in this world without her? Petty and dull with the nerve to doubt her. What does it matter? It's already done. Now I've got to be there for her son. It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it over? It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it over? You won, and she chose you, and she loved you, and she's gone. It's over, isn't it? Why can't I move on? It's over, isn't it? Why can't I move on?
Good evening, guys. I'm Scarfy.
I'm Naka.
And I'm Krüz.
And welcome to Subwuffer Entertainment, a determinedly drunk, geeky, and showful podcast where wolves be house and we entertain, bringing you all latest entertainment news. So that's a lot like music appreciation class. We talk about what's going on, certain topics, and see how people react to them in certain ways. And that song that you're listening to was "It's Over, Isn't It" by Deedee Mango Hall, more commonly known as the character Pearl from Steven Universe. In my opinion, a great song, and pretty much like the only song that I could really think of because, well, I had a little trouble finding a OFP because, well, the first OFP that I sent to Naka was unfortunately,
blocked in 245 countries because you decided to use "Get a Little Bit" by the Goo Goo Dolls.
It's like, whoops.
Yeah,
thanks,
unoriginal
YouTube. Very
bastard.
cool.
Yeah. That's what happens whenever we, have problems with our show, but we have to make do with what we got.
See, there's a reason why I try to plan these things out like a week in advance for my stuff.
Exactly. I see. Especially for this week because we have a lot to talk about. Before we begin our show, S.E.T has been brought to you by Streamlabs. We are a non-profit podcast, but we use this as our go-to for making more episodes and helping be bigger and better than ever by purchasing equipment or other visual means. Please don't feel obligated. We are not asking for money to pay the rent, but if you have the heart to donate, it is greatly appreciated.
To quote Proton John, "Give me your money."
No, but really, don't give us your money. You need to pay like rent and all these other things.
No, do give us your money if you feel like you want to. You don't have to.
Exactly. Oh, sorry. You caught me eating.
Wow, so unprofessional.
That is very unprofessional of me. I am sorry, but I'm starving. Anyway,
You get on my case for being hungry.
Hey.
Well,
you pull
it's
that
just
crap.
because not the cafeteria, the second part of the cafeteria thing, which is called the pub, but it doesn't serve alcohol because it's on a college campus. But they decided to take at least 20 minutes to make a fucking burger. Seriously? And the whole time it's like 7:01, and I'm like, I need to get back to my dorm.
Sorry you had to cancel MFF, Seawolf. I hope you
I didn't want to bring that up. There's a bit of an elephant in the room, and I'd really rather not talk about that because it involves a crazy person who just is doing it for attention.
Hey.
Yeah.
All I said was MFF. I didn't say the actual thing. But let's just
I've never
consider-
been there.
I
but
assume the other stuff is what I'm trying to refer to
right.
by
You can
not
only say
referring
just take care of
to
yourself
it.
if you go in there and
You have
Keep your
spinning
wits about you,
spaghetti
boy.
in your mouth.
Yes, that is my dinner.
spit
I don't know what my
in your
actual
mouth.
dinner is. It is my spinning spaghetti.
Anyway,
Oh, spaghetti.
we have something very, very special to show, don't we, Naka?
Yes. Let's bring it over to here. And I am going to I'm going to bring the chat just over to the left a little bit. And we have a new logo.
It is chef's kiss. Delicious.
And all I have to say is, like, what do you have to say regarding this logo? This logo was actually made by the wonderful artist Zeiros Lion. Let me go ahead and type that in for you so you can follow him on Twitter. In my opinion, he is a fantastic artist. He does a really good job. Actually, you know what? That's a little bit informal of me. Let me go ahead
If you do want to send me like a full res, like a high res image, because I just pulled this off Telegram, so that's why it's a little crusty. But that's the unfortunate
more
thing.
crispy next time.
Yeah, exactly.
It will not be as crusty as as last time. But it is there, and I'm very, very happy. Naka, Krüz, what do you have to think about this logo? What do you think? What is the thing that speaks out to you when you see this logo?
Why is it the chromosome buttons? I mean, I understand that it's supposed to be replicating a Super Nintendo controller. Actually, I'm going to go back to that real quick and bring it back up. Yeah, no, it's supposed to be a Super Nintendo
I've
controller.
earned it forever, thanks. Never mind.
And then the notes are supposed to be like where the A and the B buttons are.
I was thinking like I don't know.
Yes, Liam, this is indeed a podcast.
Something what like
we'll be getting into our topics a little bit later.
Like what nice like nicest thing in Doug his like whole logo is like.
But yeah,
but that's like their headphones over the plug. But yeah, I love it, and I love the color scheme too, especially because our classic gold and well, personally for me, purple and blue, two of my favorite colors. Yeah.
Let me go ahead and send this link to Naka so that he can post it in the chat, because Zeiros does a really good job. He did a really good job making this. I was very, very impressed with what he had to offer. I'm very, very happy. And we will be posting this art momentarily for all to see during the show. But other than that, let's get right into it. Krüz, you have music to talk about, don't you?
It looks crisp and clean and delicious, just like this worldwide stout from Dogfish Head that I've just opened.
That nobody can see.
Yeah, nobody can see. Apparently, you're not supposed to put if you're drinking on YouTube, you're not supposed to like show you're actually drinking, which is why Funhouse does its things. They're not. No, well, actually, no, whatever.
Well, there's no we don't do face cams anyway.
As long as you're of age. Unless YouTube was going to whip my ass for that. But
no, we'll be fine. We're not going to be affected by the algorithm because we don't get monetized. Anyway, moving on to music.
Yes.
So the first topic is Slayer. No, it is not a new album. It has been all but confirmed that Repentless was Slayer's final album. However, there are the three music videos from that album, Repentless, You Against You, and Pride and Prejudice. If you liked the production of those music videos, then good news for you. And I personally really enjoyed those music videos and the story that was involved in it. Since Slayer's not going to produce a new album, the story of the characters in Repentless, You Against You, Pride and Prejudice, those music videos, is going to be made into a short film available on digital and Blu-ray. And it will be paired with Slayer's concert at the Forum in Inglewood, California from 2017. The film, as the music video show, follows a former neo-Nazi attempting to escape and renounce his dark past and start a new life with his now pregnant wife, which puts him at odds with his former companions and the law. The film will feature Jason Trost, Danny Trejo, Richard Speight, Derek Mears, Jessica Pimentel, Tyler Main, Bill Moseley, Caroline Williams, and Sean Whalen. The release date for this movie and companion live album is on November 8th, and pre-orders can be placed via link in the description of this trailer. So if you click on the video, you don't have to watch the video because it just has all the character introductions, or like it just shows who the actors are. You can just look at all the information that's in the description of that video, which is, instead of us putting a bunch of links in the chat. As a reminder, the final campaign tour starts with 2 shows in October and runs through November, and the dates of that tour are also in the link of that description of that video, which I hope I can attend, because I've been able to attend the last 2 times Slayer's come around the area, and I hope we'll be able to do it again. It's I want to say it's November. So I think it's late November. We'll see. I mean,
speaking of wanting to attend things, this is going to be a little bit off topic. The Mini LED Demonetized tour is stopping in Seattle on Wednesday, and I really want to go, but at the same time, I want to put that money and donate it towards something like the Wounded Warriors Project. And in proxy, this donation would get my grandfather's name on a NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series truck that would be running in Phoenix in November. So I'm just like, which one do I do? Which one do I do?
That sounds like a really cool idea to do. This is somewhat, I guess it's parallel, not so related, but my uncle who is a pilot for Delta, and also has a P-51 Cavalier Mustang, which if you don't know what it is, look it up. It's basically a refurbished P-51 Mustang, and his name is on, like, they have the flaps. There's a row of those outside the Air and Space Museum. His name is on one of them. So it's like, I forget how you get on that, but it's pretty cool, and I think that would be a cool thing to do for the family. As long as you make sure that they know that you did it, like you could just tell them you did it. Which, go. I'm all for it.
But speaking of my thing real quick, if you have a veteran that you know in your life or something, and you want to donate to the Wounded Warriors Project, as well as get their name on Brett Moffitt's truck competing at ISM Phoenix Raceway in November, click that link. I completely forgot to bring this up a couple days ago. That's why it's not in the agenda. But it's a $25 donation, but it's going towards the Wounded Warriors Project. And if you have the name of a veteran that you would like to put on the truck, you can go do, $25 donation. You can get somebody's name on a truck that's probably going to win the race.
I could do it. I mean, I might look into that, because this was last year. My grandfather was a former Coast Guard, and
that would fit.
Yeah, so I think, I don't know. Here's the thing, which was kind of, I was like almost got emotional from it, because I literally just picked up a Coast Guard thing at the Tampa airport, like a little fridge magnet. But my grandma was like, almost like started crying when I brought it to her. She was like, "Oh, that's so sweet of you." I was like, "This was like $2 at the airport," but I didn't say that. But I was like, just got that to myself. But it was like, I was glad to do that.
So regarding Slayer, the Repentless Killology, I had no idea this was actually a film, and I'm really surprised as to how this is going to play out, because this isn't. I mean, I could almost say this is something like Rob Zombie, doing his own take on Halloween, but at the same time,
I wouldn't say that. That was more to be vulgar. I mean, granted, the videos are very violent and very bloody. But the cast, when I looked at, like, in the description of the video, I think also says like what they're known for. I didn't want to type that all up, because that would have been too much to type. But the cast, they look pretty professional. I think Bill Moseley is most well known. I know Richard Spate, I think, is from what is it? What is it? Anarchy? Sons of Anarchy, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
Danny Trejo, of course, goes without saying. And I think Jason Trost is, of course, the main character, and I think he does a really good job as a guy with an eye patch. Yeah. But yeah, I'm interested to see how they do this in a movie, if they're going to put like songs in the movie, if it's going to look more like Metallica's Through the Never. Because of course the music video, these actors in the music videos, they were doing it almost exclusively to music. There were some sections of the video where music wasn't playing, but it should be cool. I'll at least want to try and pick out the movie when I can, because I like what they did with it. And I think they also made this that story into like a comic book kind of thing, which is also badass. Yeah, it's there.
I know I kind of derailed the conversation for a couple of minutes there, and Seawolf, I am going to ask you something when we get to the video game section, because it does relate to something that we tried to do the other day. But I think that the plot of this film, because it's music and it's film, it's two things going into one. I mean, neo-Nazis, yeah, they can go fuck themselves.
Exactly.
But
Wrong.
one who's trying to leave the past behind because he understands what he did is wrong, and he just wants to leave the life behind, while trying to not only outrun, his former neo-Nazi quote-unquote brethren, even though they're just scumbags, and the police.
It started with him breaking out of prison. So
yeah, just because he wants to run off and live his life with the pregnant wife. Set that to Slayer music. It's kind of weird. Also, somebody brought up the Rob Zombie Halloween remakes. There's one thing that's in both the first Rob Zombie Halloween movie and the most recent Halloween film was apparently the dads in both families like to talk about their penis at breakfast time, because in the Rob Zombie movie, he's like, bitch, I will gouge out your eyes and skull fuck you, and very angrily, and there's a baby crying and everything, and it's not a fun scene.
I remember, because I watched Dead Meat, and he did the review on that.
But then, in the breakfast scene in Halloween 2018, the dad's just like, oh, man, I got peanut butter on my penis.
Come over here, dog. I mean, no.
Anyway,
at least there's no Matthew McConaughey going.
Anyway,
moving on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Second thing, good thing we're not monetized this. Well, I don't know if this weekend is monetized, but who cares? Bad Wolves. Yes, the boys are back. Sophomore album from this LA metal supergroup, known, of course, for their cover of Zombie by the Cranberries. Second album. It's announced, and its name is Nation, spelled out like N.A.T.I.O.N, like an acronym, kind of like a Kids Next Door style looking thing. Oh, that's a throwback.
Did you actually bring up Kids Next Door? Holy shit!
Yeah, boy, I roll with the original shit. Following the release of a single, "I'll Be There," "Killing Me Slowly" was a song released along with the album reveal, set the release date as October 25th of this year. And apparently, I believe it's the same girl who's on both covers, because I see the tattoo under Bad Wolf says "Stay Cold," so it's the same girl in that. I think both photos. I believe that's the case. Bad Wolves emerged in 2017, and of course, as I said, gained notoriety for their cover of "Zombie" by the Cranberries. I give it a little more points because Dolores was supposed to be on there, but she unfortunately passed away before it happened. But they still released it anyway. And so far, you get these two songs, "I'll Be There" and "Killing Me Slowly." "I'll Be There," you get more of like the Learn to Live, the classic, metalcore kind of Bad Wolves. And then "Killing Me Slowly" is the more rock side of them. But yeah, I think they're starting to. Well, of course, they're a new band. They're still a new band, and their manager, of course, is Zoltan Bathory, the Hungarian guitar player from Five Finger Death Punch. And, of course, they have a good relationship with Five Finger Death Punch, with Tommy Vext, the vocalist, filling in for Ivan when he was in rehab. And then going on tour with them, as I mentioned before, and I saw them in Florida. It was a great show. You dig a healthy blend. If you dig a healthy blend of metalcore and hard rock, you'll probably like this band, because they can go a little to the radio friendly side, but then they still have the kind of, throw down kind of riffs, They're starting to find their own footing. And of course, they got to establish themselves. And I think that this is not this isn't the be all end all, but this is definitely a big step in deciding what their kind of identity is and what style they really want to go for. And yeah, so I'll follow up because they'll probably release another song before the release date, but we'll follow up in October when this album draws nearer.
I wish they had more than one song on the radio.
I actually listened to this music video and I was actually kind of surprised as to how hardcore it really is, and well, all metal is all hardcore, but this seems like the most hardcore out of anything I ever watched, if only because the lead singer.
Which one of them did you see, or both?
Well, I'm more talking about Bad Wolves. I saw both of these trailers, but I'm talking about Bad Wolves right now. The lead singer in this.
I just mean what song? That's what I was asking.
Also, you're referring to a music video as a trailer?
I mean, in a way, maybe.
The second the trailer that
the music video.
The music video that was leaked.
That was leaked. Excuse me.
That was linked with Bad Wolves.
Pork chop sandwiches.
That was linked with Bad Wolves, and I saw it. I saw the music video, and the bald one. I'm just gonna say this right now. The bald guy. I don't know if
he's just bald one.
That's Tommy, probably.
He does not look like he belongs in a metal band at all, but damn it, he does it pretty well. That's all I can say.
I want to say he's black. I mean, probably light skin, but like he knows how to rock, especially because drop some rap style N words in there. But like, so that would probably imply he is probably African American. But
anyway,
I think that they've got a good mix of music styles going on, as you would probably get from a supergroup. And of course, any person who doesn't know what supergroup means, that just means that it's a band comprised of members from already established bands. So Hell Yeah is also a supergroup. I think Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young is probably be another supergroup.
Anyway,
we're gonna get to some trippy dinosaur shit.
I would also like to apologize in case anybody heard my dad shout at the TV at football.
The Seahawks already beat the Steelers.
Yeah, but he's watching other football games. Actually, no, it's probably the Sounders football game.
Oh, Sounders.
The Sounders. Sounders football. You mean soccer because you're in America?
Yeah. I keep forgetting it because one of one of my buddies I met in Hungary is now studying at this campus here, and he was at our college football game, and I realized, right. American football, the stupid football.
Football.
But he's like, yeah, I kind of understand what you're doing. So,
also, before you go on, Chadu, aka N.A.T.I.O.N, were you there watching Drew's stream last night? Watching FD, watching Chelsea DeNofa win, and also have Odie Bakshi's pretty much do a goddamn wheelie after getting into Chelsea DeNofa. Only Chadu and I will probably understand this because we were watching Formula Drift last night. What's Formula Drift? Go educate yourself. I already have enough on my plate as is.
Anyway.
Okay. This French electronic band has always been celebrated for its excellence. DSVII, short for Digital Shades Volume 2, following, of course, Volume 1, will be arriving on September 20th. It is a California winter promise. Currently, the songs. Yeah, I know. I watched a lot of Gang Grumps, so I know that they keep bringing that up, and it's still funny every time. So you got Luna de Fiel with the guy linked, of course. The guy in which I thought kind of looked and sounded almost like Christopher Lee, and I'm like, but wait, he's dead. I'm like, it does kind of look like him. And then there's also Temple of Sorrow, which sounds pretty dark, but it's actually pretty chill stuff. Perhaps even the caliber of, lo-fi beats to study / relax to. Um, I mean, considering the sheer amount of stuff that I see from making music agendas, because of course, even though I'm a metalhead, of course I look at stuff, of course, that isn't heavy metal, and that helps, quote unquote, expand my horizons. But I'm over the side of I know what I like, and I'm going to like, why, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But
Right.
this stuff is like, it's pretty chill, and I like sometimes I'll like listen to a few seconds of it and then I'll turn off and be like, okay, I'll just write something about it and then be done. But I like left the song on and I'm like, yeah, it's like pretty chill background music. It, to me, I mean, other people might more actively enjoy it, but I think M83 is
M83, matey.
Very funny. So I do want to talk to you about M83. There was one song, I believe it was called Conclusion or something like that, that was actually featured towards the end of the trailer, of the 5-minute trailer, Cloud Atlas. If you ever seen that film, I could
have
actually
not
show
seen
you.
that film.
If I actually show you the trailer, you're gonna be surprised, because this trailer was way ahead of its time, and it's based off the popular book, and but yeah, they actually used an M83 song, and I was like, wow, this song is actually really good.
good.
So I literally Shazammed the music, which, if you don't know what Shazam is, it's literally you.
Yeah,
press-
that's how my friend we did it with when we were watching South Park, and we found the Sammy Hagar for the heavy metal episode.
Exactly. And 90% of the time, the official lyric video is better than the actual video for the song is.
Yeah, because
I mean,
whenever you hear a
usually-
song and you have a vague idea of what the video might be about, and then you watch the official video and it's nothing like what that thought was.
Here's the thing: what happens with that? Usually, the rule is how it goes. Or for me, Sabaton Piscator does a lot of lyric videos for Sabaton. Also, they translate it to German as well. But the lyric video tends to have the straight song as it is. In the music videos, sometimes they include a little stuff before and after the song, or sometimes they'll stop because they want to, they want to make the music video as like a story. They want it to sometimes the song will stop and some things will happen and then the song picks up again. But yeah, I guess I can agree with that. Usually it's better if you want to hear the actual song to go to the lyric video and also know what they're saying.
Right.
But there's some entertainment value in particular music videos, I could say.
No, I would definitely agree with that. And
Especially,
yeah.
As we just mentioned, Slayer's music videos, of course, were very entertaining.
Remind me both to show you the trailer for Cloud Atlas, and then you'll see what I mean. Anyway.
Okay, moving on.
So yeah, after researching who the vocalist of this band was, I was actually pretty damn surprised.
Yeah, he's
One thing
infamous.
One thing about M83, DSVII. First of all, that album title reminds me of ASCII, ASCII. Where you have, art, typed out in characters and everything. It's usually what you see on like Twitch chat copy pastas, where it's like an image, it's ASCII characters. And the lo-fi, beats to relax to, that just reminds me of people who make Forza montages, but they're going for that aesthetic look.
Vaporwave. Yeah, that whole thing got into Rocket League a little bit, the vaporwave stuff.
Yeah, with like the 80s summer or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, Scarfy brought up the singer, and well, there's some good news actually, but I'll just start at the beginning. So one of the, I guess to me, more unlikely comebacks in metal can be found in As I Lay Dying, who was actually introduced to me by, I can't remember who, but it was some other furry I'd met on Twitter who had, he showed me The Sound of Truth. Like, he showed me that song, and I was like, oh, that's pretty good. And then I saw their covers of Electric Eye by Judas Priest and War Ensemble by Slayer, my favorite Slayer song. But yeah, the most unlikely comeback story This band, as it lay dying after the arrest and conviction of vocalist Tim Lambesis, I believe I'm saying the name right, for hiring a hitman who I guess turned out to be another undercover cop. This is just from my perusings of the internet to actually get the story down. I know that he was trying to hire a hitman to kill his estranged wife and left the band's future looking grim at best. Of course, this band isn't the only one to have a member imprisoned and then return, which Lamb of God, when he singer Randy Bly pushed a fan back off of the stage, and the fan ended up dying from their injuries. But then this was in Prague. They ruled that the fan had understood the risks of going on stage. He understood the risks, and that was kind of like the liability thing. But of course, other courts work differently. But Randy was able to come back. Same can't be said, unfortunately, with the drummer, but who was in a motorcycle accident. But we'll see what Lamb of God's future holds. But for now, we're talking about As I Lay Dying. And the nature of Tim's arrest was a little more severe and likely influenced by Tim's steroid use. I mean, because I will fuck up your emotions and shit. After his release, Tim went back to the band and appearing to be in a much better mental state and apologizing to his bandmates, partook in the band's first album in 7 years. And it sounds tight and coordinated as ever. Not missing a step. The hammering metalcore sound that is shaped by fire. The title track, of course, is linked. My Own Grave and Redefined are also available. There was another track that was released after I made this. I forget the name of it, but the album will be released on September 20th. And it sounds really good. I have to admit that for all the shit that they've gone through and coming back from it and also still sounding as good as they do, that's admirable. And I'm hoping that Tim continues to get better and, get his life back together.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, it's a lot to unload there.
That is a lot to unload.
Christ, I don't even know what to think of the music anymore.
Well, after you hear that your estranged, husband is actually trying to kill you, it's like, damn.
Yeah. That's
with an asterisk. He's not trying to kill you, he's trying to get someone to kill you, which is also illegal, but at least she wouldn't have fucked if he got Agent 47.
Yeah, it's like and after listening to the song, I was very taken aback that the band actually forgave him and actually continued to help actually let him be in the band.
Because he was probably going through mental health issues that led him to that point.
Yeah, I think that is correct.
I said there's, I don't know exactly what, but drugs and steroids were involved, and of course you're not the same person when you're on those. And of course he would have had a lot of time to reflect, as the band did. And well, I don't know how much the As I Lay Dying would be doing this, but for Lamb of God, Randy wrote at least one of the songs when he was in prison in Prague. He wrote Still Echoes, and then 512 was inspired also by prison sentence. But Still Echoes, it's a pretty haunting song. I'm just glad that they're still going, and there's still fans are still behind them. And this is like me sometimes being a Ravens fan. People will say like, "Oh yeah, Ray Lewis is a murderer." Like, yeah, of course he's never going to escape that. That's never going to go away. But that's not to say that if you commit, let's say it did happen for the sake of argument, someone who's committed to turning their lives around. Of course, they're not going to be expected to be forgiven by everyone, but the weight of the world and more is on your shoulders, and you have to find a way to not be angry at other people for calling you out on that, and also to better yourself. And that's people who can come back from that. Like, there's a relative of ours who had been on drugs for a while. She threatened to kill her parents, and a whole bunch of other things. Went through rehab, lost some of her teeth and from drug use and all that, but she'd come back, has slowly been welcomed back into family. I mean, I think it's if someone's there for you and you are able to forgive someone and they genuinely either also feel remorse and also are willing to undertake that hard and arduous process of, bringing themselves back from the dark place that they were at, then they would deserve support. And I think that as I lay dying, Tim, I wish all the best for him and the band. So far, things seem to be going well for them. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, and I listened to this song. It's a pretty good song, but yeah, that's all I have to say regarding As I Lay Dying.
They're bringing me in the mood down, but
can we move on to the band that said they wanted to fuck a dog in the ass?
But
or am I thinking that's Sum 41?
No, you're thinking of a different song, a different band, because this song literally sings all the small things.
That's Blink-182. Sum 41's the band that
left
married
me
Avril
roses
Lavigne.
by the stairs.
No, I'm pretty sure Blink-182 made the song "I Want to Fuck a Dog in the Ass."
All I know is that they did a live song. Was like, not the 7 dirty words, but like shit, piss, fuck, cunt,
cocksucker, motherfucker, tits, fart, turd, and twat.
No, it is. They actually did make a song.
Yeah,
like
I know that they
anyway.
did that. It's like,
I was right.
Shit,
I remembered it was Blink-182.
We can't. We're degenerates. Yep. Anyway, let's move on.
No, Blink-182.
Blink-182. 9. Well, wherever did the time go? I honestly
say it ain't so. I will not go.
Turn the lights off. Jeremy, stop making me sing the goddamn songs all over again. Yep. Where did the time go? I haven't listened to them in a while, and honestly, it seems that they took the route to the more radio-friendly pop punk side of the genre. At least with this album, and there's some. When I say this, there's not an overwhelming amount, but there's a little a sizable dislike chunk. Not a whole lot, but like with the songs from this album, and I'm like, yeah, people get it. They didn't make the shift as well as Fall Out Boy did, but of course Green Day has also flirted with that kind of more poppy pop punk sound, but they still stay true, especially with Revolution Radio, but that's for the near future. The 9th album, 9, clever girl, from Blink-182 has a few tracks available. Blame It on My Youth, Generational Divide, Happy Days, Dark Side, and the Ling song, I Really Wish I Hated You. I really wish I weren't here right now button. Which someone at Philadelphia actually had that button. And that was cool. Yeah, that's a few songs. It's pretty much at least, like a third of the album already. I was thinking of doing like a poll to see like what people think of like how many songs should a band release from an album before the album's released. I would say 2 or 3 is generally a good number, procedurally. But yeah, this also comes on September 20th, and the rest will follow. Not sure how I really feel about this, but there's some news regarding them coming up. But right now we're just focusing on Blink-182, and of course, I am a fan of some of the older shit because I grew up listening to Green Day and Weezer and this band, and
Boozy Badger is still mad at us for not knowing Weezer, but anyway.
I knew Weezer. I just said like I think what their whole thing about selling out was like, I think of selling out as more of like, it's not just a one and done black and white process. It's more of like you progressively do it. Like Weezer has progressively done it. Green Day is, got a little uncomfortably close, but has come back from it. I mean, selling out, it's in relative terms, but
and Blink-182 just happens to be the band that, oh yeah, they're still there.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry.
No, but yeah,
it's like when you guys feel old, well, fuck you.
I remember Blink-182 being a really big hit in the late 90s, early 2000s when, you know, they sang all the small things. And it's like, yeah, this song
the pop
could be
punk
worse.
explosion was.
Yeah. But I mean, it
Man,
was a good
I
song.
remember the days where you had songs like
remember.
Dick Lips, where you had songs like Happy Holidays, You Bastard, and Fuck a Dog. And now we're going with this radio-friendly shit, and it's not the same.
You're a little disappointed, are you?
Yes.
All right. Well,
Yeah, well, it's all.
at least we still have the original stuff, which is still better than the.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's a sentiment I share regarding our next thing. But yeah, you'll see where this is all going. This is the MCU of pop punk. That's stupid, but no. Green Day.
Your boyfriends anyway. Continue.
Your boyfriends. The father of all redacted. Just kidding. It's the father of all motherfuckers, which, of course, because reasons can't actually be on the album title, which is kind of what happened with their live album Awesome as Fuck, which was asterisked out. Is that a fucking word? Asterisked? It's like asterisked.
Asterisked. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's a
I mean, it's not like the term Xeroxed, but
asterisk is not a verb.
Anyway, continue.
For the future by a bureaucratic man. Sorry.
Yeah, you'll see a definite. No, actually, I'll follow this later. Following Revolution Radio, the title track of this album, Father of All, it leans a little more towards the Uno Dos Tres era sound, which was like 2011, 2012. And for me, as a lifelong fan of Green Day, I've been listening to them since I was like 8 years old. Honestly, just a tiny bit of a letdown. I said a bit of a letdown in the script here, but I'm like a tiny bit. I think it's not a bad song, but for this to be the first song they unveil, I'm like, granted, a lot of times when there's new albums, they don't always, and this is what I hope for, they don't always release what to me is the best song in the album first. And that is also true, especially with Hammerfall, because Testify is my favorite song on the album. That was not released as a single. But then
Right
Korn,
outside your door.
yeah, Cold, I think is still my favorite song. It's, oh my god, there's so many good songs in that album. We were talking about Korn earlier before the show, but yeah, they brought the bagpipes back. Fuck yeah, the Nothing, really fucking good album. Anyway, back to Green Day. I'm not surprised at hearing this because they've definitely made songs like this before, especially on Dose, especially Nightlife. That was like a whole. It wasn't bad, but it was something. But I'm hoping that they definitely build on the success of Revolution Radio, where Green Day returned to their American Idiot era type sound and brevity, like, you know.
Speaking of American Idiot, do you realize you see the upper right hand corner, you see the arm? That's just part of the American Idiot album cover.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, like, that's the joke, where Green Day on Revolution Radio returned to their American Idiot type sound, and I guess they kind of did here too, in a way, because they have the album. They have that in the background. Fuck off, Java! God fucking damn it! They have the heart hand grenade in the background, with a puking unicorn, a unicorn puking rainbows on the word motherfuckers, because, you know, drunk. As far as they haven't made an album with the Drunk Bunny cover yet, because that's a Green Day staple. I think I'm hoping that this will be good because they're. The last, I think, Revolution Radio, I believe, was 2016, and this a lot, of course, has changed with music and like trying to the way music is and like trying to stay relevant. You gotta appeal to more people, but there's a certain notoriety or like certain honor in like also not doing that. But I can understand why Green Day would, because they've been able to get away with it before. And a lot of the songs on Uno Dos and Trey were good. I think, especially overall, Dirty Rotten Bastards from Trey is probably the best one. Yeah, this, as a Left Funk fan, I think I'm a little tentative, but if nothing else, I've still got, Green Day I grew up with. But this is, if you've like followed Green Day like I have, you can kind of understand why they've done it. I'm just hoping that they do a little more, they kind of got back to the regular early 2000s Green Day with Revolution Radio.
Yeah, Krüz.
Hoping they'll do it again.
Krüz?
What?
Can I get another amen?
No.
What? Hey.
There's a meme wrapped around.
Anyway.
Well,
I love Green Day. I really like their older material. I don't know how this album kind of plays out. I would hope it's better than their, the previous stuff that they made. I don't. Were you a fan of Green Day, Naka?
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be better than Revolution.
I especially liked them when, once they made Green Day Rock Band, then there was just Billy Joe on crack, Billy Joe on crack. Really, Billy Joe? Is that what you're thinking? Because I'm pretty sure you just lit a Skittle on fire, you crazy fuck.
Lit a Skittle on fire. Whoa.
Yeah, I just made a video game based off my career. Now I can buy crack whenever I want.
Set Skittles on fire in my spare time to my leisure.
Anyway.
We're not done with Green Day yet because we've got something massive on the horizon. You could say it's hella mega. And it's a hella mega tour featuring Green Day, Fall Out Boy, Weezer, and special guest The Interrupters. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. And the Face App style edit version of reference of that scene from Anchorman shows the bands joining forces with like the band members' faces being like sort of put on to that, but it's shaky, so it's like I like that it's cheesy like that. I love that. While Fall Out Boy and Weezer, immediately along with Green Day, it's like strayed a little more into the pop side of pop punk. This trio lineup is a nostalgia trip for the ages. Green Day, Fall Out Boy, Weezer, Interrupters, a massive, aptly named tour. You'll definitely want to check out the actual link for this because the tour dates, the bands they kind of split off. Some of them do their own tours for a little bit and then come back together. So there's information on that depending on where you are. But of course, I expect our audience is largely North American. With the exception of our friend, I don't know if he's here, Nero, who's in Iceland. Thank you for introducing me to Skalmold. I will forever in your debt for that. Green Day's own world tour will begin in Asia next March. This is March 2020, and it will reach Europe March 24, and then they will later be joined by Weezer, then the full lineup. You see what I'm getting at with that. The North American leg of the tour, performances will mostly be in baseball stadiums with some exceptions. Will begin July 17, 2020 in Seattle at T-Mobile Park.
Fuck you, it's still Safeco Field.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize it. They did change the name of it.
T-Mobile Park, the brand new this year. Fuck you, it's still Safeco Field.
I forgot. It was Safeco, right. They will be in Los Angeles July 25th at Dodger Stadium. If you ever felt the urge to, if you don't like baseball, to go to the stadium then.
I would go to see Green Day. I don't know if I would want to see Fall Out Boy. Also, upon seeing this video, doesn't it look like the heads are kind of like, I don't know, CG'd into the
Yeah,
the
that's
people.
what I mean with like the face app kind of like adding onto it. I
Yeah.
love that it's that cheesy because that's of course that's how Green Day would have done it. And a Green Day or Billy Joe is like sitting and it's like, wow, that escalated quickly. And it will
Anyway.
hit my area next fall at Washington D.C. at Nationals Park.
I mean, personally, I'm not a fan of really going to see these bands live. You know, if Weird Al was with them, then maybe we'd be talking.
Weird Al.
I mean, they play Canadian Idiot along with them.
Oh
I love to see
Lord.
Weird Al.
Well, yeah, but like even I think Green Day wouldn't Green Day have a problem with that? I mean, granted,
I don't know if I don't think they did a problem. I mean, if they did have a problem, they would have done something else. But like,
They would have
I would think
sued Weird Al if they had a problem with it.
Well, yeah, but like, I mean, he got the permission from, Green Day themselves, but like even
that's his
still,
living. He does parodies.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's a pretty good. I mean,
It's
For
a good
me,
lineup. It's just not the lineup for me, you know?
Yeah. So
yeah, I understand.
Okay, way to bring the down now. Sponsored by Harley Davidson.
What the hell are you
Yeah.
reading?
Well, you see the little Harley Davidson logo on the side of the thing.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm circling it with my mouse because you can see that.
Yeah, they're
can't-
advertising.
because I'm big brain. I'm big brain like that.
They're advertising.
Yeah, it's right under the rainbow flames right there.
Yeah, so you can see where the puking unicorn comes in, except this unicorn is holding a guitar and shooting rainbow flames out of his mouth because, pop punk and shit. But this is a timely announcement here because pre-sale for North American dates begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. local time. So that means 10 a.m. where you are. So definitely, I would advise you to keep an eye out for tickets, especially if your city tends to sell out events like this, like the whole Metallica tour when that came around in 2017. Make sure that
I made sure to get those early.
if you're thinking about it, do it because you'll never know when it will sell out, and tickets will then become much more expensive.
That was worth $160.
Yeah, that was worth it, and I completed an exam that morning when I went and then picked up my friend, drove to Baltimore, and had one of the best nights of our lives.
As
cool
as it would have been to be in general admission, like in the mosh pit and everything, I like sitting down.
Yeah, especially would like to be in general admission about like when I was in 554 of M&T Bank Stadium, which if you don't know the layout of M&T Bank Stadium, 545 is the nosebleeds. I'm used to sitting in 151 for games, which I was at today against the Arizona Cardinals, and we won. Yeah, that was a great show. And I finally got to see, as I mentioned a while ago, I got to see Gojira in concert at Knotfest Roadshow, and they were really good.
They are a good live band, I'll give you that.
Did they start with Toxic Garbage Island?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, this is here. Anyway, so with that behemoth of an announcement, and yes, of course, I'm not going to ask you to I'm not going to ask anyone to do anything. But I'm just going to say that if you're interested in this and you click on the YouTube link of the video, you don't have just do that, pause it, and then keep listening to our broadcast. But I'm saying that because the information that you will need is all contained in that video in its description. And with that, we will hand it off to Naka.
All right.
For some sports.
We're going for the wee woo left turns. Because this weekend's a little bit loaded and it's a bit strange because NASCAR is stupid and they don't have to define a unified weekend where they, have all the playoff, races and like all the playoff drivers be set into motion. But for example, for what I'm talking about, it was the Truck Series first round cutoff race on Friday where Brett Moffitt, Austin Hill was technically second, because second in the rankings, but, because he won the race. Ross Chastain, Stuart Friesen, Matt Crafton, Tyler Ankrum survived, but Grant Enfinger, who was the regular season champion, is out because this playoff system's fucking bullshit.
I'm sorry.
As well as Johnny Sauter,
I
but...
thought you said Crafton. No,
Crafton.
Sorry.
Grant Enfinger lost an engine very early in the race due to a rear main seal failure, which is where the transmission mounts to the engine, and it's complicated. It's
basically means shit in technical terms. Shit's fucked.
Yeah, shit got fucked, especially on a racing engine. Yeah, that's so his day was done like very early into the race, and then on the next restart, couple laps into the green flag run, Matt Crafton loses an engine. Or it was, I forget if it was Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton, or Matt Crafton, Johnny Sauter, but they both lost their engines at the same time. And they're on the same team. All three of these drivers are on the same team. And apparently 14 out of 32 trucks in the field had engine issues.
Oh, Lord.
It was on Friday the 13th. It was a full moon Friday night.
Yeah,
or,
Friday
like
the 13th, full moon, new Korn album. Name your price. It's probably right.
All right, and then we move on to yesterday's fuel mileage race, the whatever 300 at Las Vegas, where Tyler Reddick wins the race on fuel mileage and clinches the regular season championship, which is 15 bonus points.
Wait, won it on fuel mileage?
Yeah, fuel mileage. Yeah, it's a thing that exists. You have long green flag runs, and you have to stretch out your fuel to maximize the on time. Is
that to say that he ran out of fuel like soon after crossing the finish line? He maximized it.
He was able to get a burnout in and then run out of gas after his burnout. But
did he win?
That's
he
a pro.
won. I just said he won.
That's what we call in the business a pro gamer move.
Isn't that bad for the car though?
What, for it to run out of gas after the race is over?
Get a new one.
Oh. Or are NASCAR cars replaceables?
Yeah, they are replaceable.
I went into the pit when my dad took me to because he had a client who worked in NASCAR that we went to a race in Richmond in 2009, and we got to see the cars. They were all sort of wrapped in plastic, and they had like some stuff on them. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Yeah.
But Tyler Reddick wins the regular season championship, so he gets 15 bonus points. Christopher Bell, Cole Custer, they are the big three. They have the most, regular season points and playoff points, so they're pretty much a lock for the next round unless some bad shit happens. Justin Allgaier, Austin Cindric, Chase Briscoe, Noah Gregson, Michael Lynette, Justin Haley, they were a lock-in before the race, and then after the race, Brandon Jones, John Hunter Nemechek, and Ryan Seeger set for the playoffs, and 3 races decide the round of 8 for them. And right now, it is currently the South Point 400 at Las Vegas, where Joey Logano's won stage 1, but the regular season champion, Kyle Busch, is having big issues. There's a lot of drivers having issues, actually, with broken cars and just shit luck. But I would say here's the race winner and who's below the cut line, but the race is still going on. It's not even halfway yet. So I'm not going to update you on that. That's fine.
Yeah, we're not living on a prairie yet.
Also, Charles Barkdozer, that name reminds me of somebody. I'm going to send a message to the person who it reminds me of and ask if it's that person.
Anyway.
Barkdozer.
Hello.
There we go. Hold on. I was just sending a message to the person who I thought it was.
Hello. Bing bong. Bing 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 bong.
And it is the person who I think it is. Okay.
Yay. He win.
But, so Nintendo, you want to, what is this? No, there's no visual for this.
Thunder thighs.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You don't want a visual, trust me.
y'all remember Connect Adventures or Connect Sports? Really any of those sports/fitness games that require you to get up off your ass and actually do things. Like Wii Sports was the intended thing to do, but then that didn't do anything because you could just sit on your goddamn couch and play these things.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got a fitness-based game with the new ring con and leg strap. Ooh,
a leg strap. Squeeze between your buttocks.
That's also an adventure game somehow. I don't know. This is weird. The Ring Kong actually has sensors and crap in the thing that leads to a seize pump, cause a lot to replace. I mean, the engines really just shut off. They do have engine protection because of the ECU, but I digress. I'm moving on to the Ring Fit Adventure. But there's actual like sensors and stuff inside the Ring Con that are used to detect force motion, all that kind of fun stuff. So kind of like the fitness board, except way stupider.
Hey, Naka, I don't mean to interrupt, but is there any way you can take away spinning spaghetti?
What? Do you not like spinning spaghetti?
It's just a little distracting.
It's distracting for you. It's not distracting for me.
Ready?
Oh.
Begin. Up.
But it's, at least it's better than those crappy accessories you got for your Wii Sports back in 2008 like I did. Yeah, put your thing in this thing where it holds the Wii remote. Then you have to screw on either, a golf club, a tennis racket, or a bat. Yeah.
I'm just retroactively remembering how stupid it looks.
So I'm looking at this 1 second.
So the Ring Con can be calibrated to your physical ability, so it's accessible to everybody with usable arms and legs. So by the way, if you have, I mean, I guess you could play this with one leg, but if you can't move your legs at all, or you don't have legs, you can't play it.
So I'm gonna just bring something up regarding Ring Fit Adventure.
Like it's the fucking shake weight. Grow up, children.
Let me talk. I'm just gonna bring this up with Ring Fit Adventure. The two people who are introducing this entire segment, I feel like they had to do like literally so many takes just to get the right mood, because by God, do they look bored out of their minds. I don't know about you guys, but damn.
Yeah. Spinning spaghetti is better than being an imposter.
Anyway, continue with Ring
So
Fit
you're
Adventure.
saying he paid my Cheerios, Mr. Duck?
Can you continue, Naka?
Yes, I can continue. But I mean, there's many types of movements and attacks to do with the Ring Con based on the situation. And let's be honest, it's finally a game that's actually fun to play while encouraging exercise. If you've got kids that can't play outside in the rain because you shelter them, you deranged fucks, and you don't vaccinate them because, they're going to cause mental illness, and I'd rather have a dead or sick child than one that has mental illness because it's such a burden, then you can get them to exercise inside while also playing video games. Also, if you're smart, you count this as their screen time too, but knowing modern parents, limited screen time isn't a thing anymore because y'all are fucking stupid. In all seriousness, it's surprising it's been this long before we've had a fitness-based game for the Switch. It was, we're 2.5 years into the Nintendo Switch's life. Wii Fit came out about 1.5 years into its life in Japan, because it's Japan, and it was about 2 years after the Wii released worldwide. So to me, it does seem a bit late, but that's just me. If you guys are interested, because I'm not, but if you guys are, the game and the required accessories release on October 18th for the Switch, which means we will not have to cover it ever again. We're covering it now because, they just said everything. You click the link and basically everything is explained except for plot. And why do you need plot? It's an adventure game where you actually have to run and stuff in real life. I'm done. Go talk about your stuff.
I don't know what there is to say because, I mean, we had, and of course I've played with the whole balance board thing. Got me to get off my fat ass for a little while, but I don't.
Hello? Sorry, I had a little hiccup. Anyway,
I don't
continue.
know. The ring. I'm sorry, but this is kind of like. It doesn't look as not stupid, but I mean, it's more for active games. It opens up new stuff for Nintendo. Good for them. Well,
I looked at Ring Fit Adventure. I don't know if it's anything that I want to get anytime soon, considering the fact that I didn't really get the Nintendo Labo. But anyway, that's
I
really
might
all
pick
I have
up Labo, just the VR kit, just so I can play Smeesh in VR.
You can do that?
Yeah, with the VR kit, there was an update to Smash. I forget if it was like update 3.0 or 4.0.
Oh.
That, if you have the Labo kit and everything, you can play Smash in VR. I'm forgetting how limited it is, but still.
Probably an amount.
Anyway.
But all right, are we moving on to? Is it Al? Is it I? Is it I? No, it's AI. The Somnium Files. Do I have it copy and pasted? No, it's still Ring Fit Adventure. Excuse me while I get the this into my clipboard, and there we go. We got that, and then we move the scene over here. All right. AI The Somnium Files is an adventure game coming out for PC, PS4, and the Nintendo Switch on Tuesday the 17th.
Yes.
Set in Tokyo, you play as Detective Kaname Date? That's that.
I think it's Date because we don't say.
It's probably
It's probably Date because we don't say sake as in sake. So
yeah.
Snake, Saki.
Yeah.
Who
Anyway.
investigates serial killings and enters witnesses and suspects' memories to extract information. There are two types of gameplay mechanics present in the game. The investigation parts and the Somnium parts, with various side quests littered throughout the game. And depending on certain actions you make during certain set pieces, you will get a different ending than somebody else might. Investigations are as follows. You play as the detective using his AI unit Alba. Alba's functions such as X-ray vision and zooming to further real-world investigations, like zooming into something like an object to see, oh, there's not a bloodstain from here. Let's go check it out. Oh, we're limited by this, gate or something. Oh, hey, there's a bloodstain there. You play as, in the Somnium parts, Date uses a machine called the Sync device, PSYNC device, to enter the memories of suspects or witnesses who don't want to share information with him in the form of dreamscapes called Somnium, to find clues and extract information by solving various puzzles. There is a 6-minute time limit before the dreamscape collapses, and as actions take time to perform, the player must be careful about determining what to do. It's a very interesting looking game. If you want to pick it up, it's coming out, like I said, Tuesday for the Switch, the PS4, and PC. Probably on Epic Games, because those guys are bastards.
By the way, if you guys are noticing in the visual why it says 18, that is PEGI 18. That's the UK rating
That
system.
is the Euro board, which is
Yes.
what NBA 2K20 should be rated, but no, it's still rated PEGI 3.
Anyway, wait,
Whenever you
wait,
see an ad
seriously,
with
it's
that-
rated PEGI 3?
Yeah,
Yeah,
NBA
whenever you see
2K20 is
an
rated
ad
PEGI
that
3, even though it encourages actual gambling and teaches children how to gamble.
And you
That's
see
really
that
bad.
just Peggy 13.
Anyway, I was just gonna say regarding if you see PEGI 18, that basically translates to rated M for mature, basically, in the US. I saw this trailer and the little boy gets freaking mauled by a polar bear. I was like, what is this shit? And yeah,
Better being mauled by a polar bear than being mauled by an elite. They're saying Heliite, or they're saying Helian, I should say.
it looks interesting to say the least.
What's a Sanghelian? You guys have never played Halo? I know somebody's going to comment that in the comments.
I know
It's
what
not
it
going to be
is,
mean. It's,
but I know
I swear to
all
God,
this
if it's just somebody
whatever
here, I'm
word.
going to slap you. But can I move on to a game that took me like 45 minutes to just even write stuff for? And then because it was so big, I had to have it edited down by Scarfy. Yes, thank you, by the way, because
You're
I was not
welcome.
going to spend 20 minutes talking about one goddamn game.
No, you're welcome. I
Buckle
am definitely excited for this game. And well, why don't you go ahead and announce it, Naka?
All right, we are Wait, hold on. Excuse me for a second, because I switched over the visual. It went to... Oh, wait, no, I know why. Because it showed Lego Jurassic Park in my visuals for a second, only for me to realize that, hey, that game came out 5 years ago, and it's only just coming out on the Switch, that we don't need to talk about it. Because you remember when I was talking with you the other night? It's like, why am I talking about a game that came out 5 years ago?
I forgot
it's a
to
port
tell
for
you
the
that-
Switch.
I forgot to tell you to take it out. Anyway, let's continue.
Oh, it only came out in Android, not iOS before. No, I remember when that game was new when I was in high school. So you can shut your mouth. We're not talking about it. Anyway, Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch Remastered. It's its first remaster for the PC, PS4, Nintendo Switch. Xbox is shit out of luck this week. But level 5. And not level 5 motorsports, but that's a completely different thing that I will not get into.
Level 5, the company.
Yes,
rather.
this is a company. This is not a racing team run by somebody who's currently in federal prison for reasons. I don't want to get into that. That is a completely separate tangent. I will go on for about an hour.
Okay.
They're better tied with Nintendo and Sony because, Japanese publisher development company, Japanese, game consoles. Makes sense. But
Yeah.
Can I make a comment about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's fine supporting, your nation's development companies and everything, but don't do it like Toyota has done, as in the car company Toyota, because 2016, 2017, they decided that they were going to pull all of their road cars from video games because they thought, oh, everybody's just looking at our old cars. They want our old cars. Nobody wants our new cars. And their most recent excuse was they wanted to prevent street racing. However, this is far from the case because Toyota is featured in, Forza Motorsport 7. It's got, race cars from Toyota because, they were American or, non-Japanese built Toyotas.
Anyway, we're getting off track.
No, I need to finish this. I need to finish this because I've had this thing on my mind for months and I finally need somewhere to get this out.
All right, continue, but hurry up, please.
I'll hurry it up when I goddamn want to. But the thing is, Toyota, they said, oh, we're not going to be in the new Need for Speed game because it promotes illegal street racing. Then how come you're in
They
the initial
literally
D?
say when you open the game, don't do it.
But how come you guys are in the initial D arcade stage arcade games as well as the One Gun Midnight Maximum Tune games after you guys stop putting your cars in other people's games? And why are you guys in Project Cars 2, which is published by Bandai Namco? And why are you guys in Gran Turismo Sport then? Huh? Why are you guys in those games, which are made by Japanese developers and publishers, but you're not in any other games? Huh? Why is that? Huh? Is it because you guys are basically just trying to support the Japanese and, literally turn off tons of people who want to drive your cars in other games because they're not made by Japanese developers and game publishers? What the fuck's the matter with you? You're just digging yourself a deeper hole, Toyota, and I don't fucking understand it. Anyway, moving on to Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch Remastered. This game is in my segment most difficult to talk about because really this is the first time the game has been released for another console because it was on PS3 years ago.
But it's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
And a
I had
hot
to get
minute.
help from Scarfy on this one because it's one of those games that is almost a video game and almost a film at the same time.
Yes.
Ni no Kuni follows the journey of Oliver, a resident of Motorville. While trying to get a new vehicle designed by his friend Philip, Oliver almost drowns. Yeah, that's great. But is saved by his mother Allie. However, she immediately dies from heart problems after saving him. Man, what kind of heart problems did she have? She's like, oh, nope, my heart physically split open in two pieces. I don't live anymore.
We kind of have to wait until the game comes out. Anyway, continue.
Or you do, or if you've already played Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch.
I have never played this game, so this
Neither
is
have
my
I.
first.
Unless
Alright,
you've
well,
either played the game or you're a doctor, you don't know.
As Oliver cries, his tears cause his doll, a gift from his mother, to come to life and reveal itself as a fairy named Drippy, who tells Oliver that he is from another world where an evil wizard named Shadar took control. He also tells Oliver that each person from his world has a soulmate, a person that shares a link with somebody in Oliver's world, and that his mother looks very much like a great sage, Alicia, who was captured by Shadar. Realizing that Alicia must have been Ali's soulmate, Oliver sets out with Drippy to travel to the other world, a heavy fantasy-like setting, to rescue Alicia in the hope that doing so will bring Ali back in his world. When players encounter enemies, they enter a battle system. Battles take place on an open battlefield, allowing players to freely roam around the area. They command a single human ally, or one of the many creatures known as familiars, creatures that can be tamed, in order to be suitable to send out in battle to fight for other players accompanying them. That manually moved around the battlefield. So
I did a lot of editing. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
So basically, you're capturing Pokemon to help you out.
I guess we can go with that, but anyway.
Or, you're doing the shadow capturing system, or like from XD Gale Darkness Coliseum. Anyway, to fight enemies, players use magical abilities and familiars that level up and evolve alongside the human characters. And each familiar has unique statistics and capabilities and can be upgraded through the use of treats and equipped with items. So, Pokemon. When all enemies in a battle are defeated, players may receive experience points, currency, and items like Pokemon. When a specific amount of experience is earned, characters' levels will increase and their abilities will improve. Not like Pokemon. That's just like a typical JRPG. Because it's the actual player, it's not the familiars.
Yes.
Health is lost when players are attacked by enemies. Duh. While mana points are depleted through the use of magic. Duh. Should a party member lose health points or mana points, they can be restored using provisions. They can also be restored by picking up orbs known as glims, where a golden glim restores all health and enables the powerful miracle move, which is, it's a Z move, which may deal significant damage to enemies or provide assistance to allies. Level 5 collaborated with Studio Ghibli to produce the game's animated sequences similar to a Ghibli film, and the game features graphics and visuals replicating the traditional animation style of Studio Ghibli films. If you'll excuse me, I need to go take a drink of my iced tea.
Do you want me to continue?
Please do. You know where I left off?
Yeah. The collaboration began when musician Naoya Fujimaki, who had previously worked with both companies, introduced Level 5 president Akihiro Hino to Studio Ghibli's president Toshio Suzuki. At the time, Studio Ghibli had completed work on the film Ponyo, and the animation team had no ongoing projects, which influenced Suzuki's decision to collaborate with Level 5. Another influencing factor of the collaboration was witnessing Hino's passion for the project. Studio Ghibli approached the production process in the way that would create an animated film. Work on the animation began in July 2008 and took much longer than the predicted 3 months. And boy, does it show. The team found particular difficulty in animating the game's cel-shaded appearance and spent time researching Studio Ghibli animation to recreate their traditional animation. Studio Ghibli's Yoshiyuki Momose served as the game's director of animation, staging the scenes and directing actors during the motion capture sessions. He was also assigned to drawing characters, designs, and storyboards. Hino wished the game to have a heartwarming feel. The artwork and the character movement was greatly inspired by Studio Ghibli's work, particularly due to their attention to detail, as well as their talent in creating storyboards and utilizing camera controls. Game director Ken Motomura regularly worked with Studio Ghibli, swapping and reviewing assets, while Hino worked with the studio in regards to the game's dialogue and animated sequences. To make Studios Ghibli's hand-drawn cutscenes in the game's engine's real-time cutscenes transition seamlessly, Level 5 adjusted the latter color tones, shadows, and character movements. For the backgrounds, the team used deep colors, unifying them so they would not look like a mass of polygons. The team found particular difficulty in animated the game's cel-shaded appearance and spent time researching Studio Ghibli animation to recreate their traditional animation. Anyway,
I got it from here.
Okay.
The composer Joe Hisaishi, it's a little bit, Japanese pronunciation, Hisaishi. There we go.
Yes.
I got it the second time. I didn't say it before just then. Is the main music director for this game, and the music is breathtaking and stands out. You may recognize his work from other Studio Ghibli films, or Ghibli, whatever, I don't know, Ghibli, or, as I call the Maserati,
You're a
Ghibli.
fan nonetheless.
Yes. You may recognize his work from films such as Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, Ponyo, and The Tale of Princess Kaguya. Also known as Kaguya Hime, but whatever. If you love the music in those movies, you're going to love the music in this game. I was amazed by the original trailer that Scarfy showed me that was released in 2011 on YouTube, and I was really surprised as to how much Joe did a really good job. See, I didn't write this sentence. That's why I'm a little confused in the writing. Trying to make this game almost feel like he's composing another movie. Scarfy and I spent some time, or more like he spent all the time editing this because it was a wall of text down because he's more excited about the game than I am. But I can't deny how impressed I am by the contemporary look and feel of the game. If you want to pick up the remaster, PC, Switch, and PS4 on Friday, September 20th.
So yeah, as you can see, I'm very excited for this game. I actually started, shall I say, with the Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom that was made for the PS4, and I started playing it, and I actually really fell in love with it. I was very impressed by all the characters. I was very impressed by everything it had to offer, but I was a little bummed that it took, that they didn't bother to release an HD remaster, and now they finally did. And you have no idea how hard I've been begging Level 5 to literally do this. I already pre-ordered it off of Amazon. I am totally buying this game. It comes out on September 20th.
It's been 17 years since Jet Set Radio Future has been remastered, and Jet Set Radio was ported to everything under the sun like in 2013. Why hasn't there been a remaster of Jet Set Radio Future? Come on, Sega. The fans are goddamn demanding it, and you're not giving them what they want. Instead, you're making a game like Sonic Forces.
I did ask Naka if he would get this game, and I would hope he would. Of course,
Probably, except there's other games that I need to buy this year.
Yeah.
Like Grid 2019, Grid Autosport for the Switch is coming out on Thursday, and the reason why I'm not talking about it is because it is just a port of Grid Autosport.
Okay. Anyway, Krüz, what do you have to say?
And there's also
this
this
game?
next game that we're talking about that I got to pick up, but I got to pick that up only after I pick up Need for Speed Heat. But we'll talk about that when that game gets close to release.
Anyway, Krüz, what do you have to say regarding this game?
I mean, I anticipated that, and I think I've seen them on the trailer for this outside of what you showed me, but I can definitely understand that. I can definitely believe, rather, that
there's a lot of work.
Yeah, the graphic work and all that, the visuals. I definitely believe that that's the case here because, it just looks, oh my gosh, a whole lot. But yeah, I can't get it on Xbox, but I'm gonna get it on Switch. I mean, if I ever get the fucking time to do it, because I've got to write a whole big ass fucking essay on the collapse of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, but yeah, it looks, goddamn, it looks delectable.
You really want to get this game, don't you?
I would love to play this, and I could definitely get it on Switch, along with what's coming next. But
you could also pick up another Switch that's coming out this week, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
The Swick.
But yeah, that's really all I have to say about Ni no Kuni. I'm excited. I already pre-ordered it. It's scheduled to arrive at my house any time. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Moving on.
You ever get a Game Boy back in the day?
Yeah.
You ever play this, this one game that made the Game Boy alone worth it? You may know it. It's a little title in the Legend of Zelda series called Link's Awakening. You ever heard of this game? If you haven't, you've certainly heard of it because of E3 this year. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is an action-adventure game with a top-down perspective that serves as a remake to the original Link's Awakening, released on the Game Boy 25 years ago. How is it 25 years ago? God damn it, I'm stupid. 25 years ago in 1993. Yeah, big brain moment for me.
Big brain!
Yes.
We're all big brains here.
Its story is set on Koholint Island, where Link, the player character, is stranded after his ship is caught up in a storm. After being rescued by a girl named Marin, whatever, Link embarks on a quest to collect the 8 instruments of the sirens and awaken Koholint's legendary windfish in order to escape the island. Similar to other games in the Zelda series, the player traverses an open world, a dungeon scattered throughout, featuring puzzle-solving sections and boss fights, along with trading side quests. In contrast to other top-down games in the series, however, Link's Awakening allows the player to jump over obstacles and onto platforms. Yay, jumping! Something that Link doesn't know how to do.
Yeah.
Except he knows how to do it in this game and on this island only. What are you talking about? He should be able to jump over that rock in Link to the Past, which is a far
What is with you, man?
And also, this game features side-scrolling platforming sections. The Color Dungeon from Link's Awakening Director's Cut, which features color-based action and puzzle gameplay, is included. In the remake, Link's sword, shield, and upgrades are permanently equipped, allowing more items to be equipped to action buttons in comparison to the original game. The E3 trailer also confirmed new additions such as a fairy bottle and a heart capacity of at least 20 hearts versus the 14 heart limit in the Game Boy versions. Various minigames also received updates such as realistic physics in the Claw Crane minigame. And as players progress throughout the game, rooms from completed dungeons can be collected as pieces the player can use to reassemble their own dungeons in a time attack mode to earn rewards such as... sorry. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself because there's 2 lines right above and below each other that look similar. Similar. God damn, I'm going to need a drink after this.
I'm already laughing at what I see.
Pieces of the player can reassemble their own dungeons by visiting the NPC Dampe, D-A-M-P, and there's the diagonal accent that's, sloping down towards the left.
To the right. Yeah, I remember the Grumps playing this and Aaron screaming at Dampy because if you go more than 3 steps ahead of him, he just turns around. He's like, Dampy!
Yeah. The player can then complete these dungeons in the time attack mode to earn rewards such as a life replenishing fairy bottle, contributing to an increased replay value over the original game. The use of amiibo figures in a customized dungeon activates the plus effects that enhance the gameplay of the dungeons. Using the Link figurine from the Link's Awakening series of amiibos, which is, coming out alongside this, or it's going to be released in a couple months. Summon Shadow Link, who chases the player through the dungeon and increases the value of rewards earned upon completing the dungeon. Other figurines from the Zelda series of amiibo and, the Smash Zelda themed figurines have their own plus effects in Link's Awakening. Nice. Now, one thing that you should know is that there is a multiplayer element to this game. What? You can play online? No. You ever heard, the Dungeon Creator?
No.
Yeah, I was just talking about it a minute ago. You're stupid.
You're stupid.
But there is a custom dungeon maker in this game. Yes. You too.
You are a
make
small
dungeons
brain.
for others to play and play other people's dungeons for possibly endless hours of gameplay in custom dungeons alone, which is a big selling point for me. Maybe. Hold on. You added this in. You're the one who added this in. I never added this.
I did.
Maybe they'll make a Legend of Zelda Maker game one day. You never know.
Yep.
Well, it depends on what medium. I mean, you have 2D and 3D, so that's a whole.
I mean, there's dungeons in the original Legend of Zelda. The one on the NES. There is one dungeon that does look a little bit like a Buddhist symbol that was, taken by the Nazis, and it's it's the swastika, but it's also. It's
the Romanji from in Japan. But,
yeah, exactly. That's what that was supposed to be about. That was not supposed to be a swastika, but I bet you people are looking back at the Legend of Zelda now. There's a swastika in this game. You can't play it anymore.
Fun fact, they actually did make it, but it for some whatever reason, I don't know if Zelda just didn't. I don't know if the creators just didn't notice it at the time, but. They never re-edited the dungeon. They just kind of kept it as is, which was kind of funny.
But anyway, I because I have other games I'm going to be picking up. After I buy those games, Link's Awakening is going to be next on the list after I pick those up. If you've got a Switch and have nothing to do on Friday, the 20th of September, go pick up this game for Satan's sake.
You're a huge fan of Link's Awakening.
Yeah, Link's Awakening is probably the main seller of the Game Boy back in the day. And
Aside from Pokemon Red and Blue, of course.
Yeah.
well,
and I
those
think-
came out in like '96.
No, well,
Those came out
you know.
later. They were.
So did I.
Oh. Anyway.
that's the joke.
But yeah, like I am a huge Zelda fan. I also purchased this game. I'm also very excited for it to arrive at my house. Just has to wait another, 5 more days. But hey, it's on its way. Just have to wait. And yeah, I actually played the Game Boy Advance version. I was impressed by it. I guess I didn't really have much of a feel towards it, if only because I guess I was spoiled by Minish Cap, and I really enjoyed Minish Cap, even though, Capcom is a completely different entity than, say, Link's Awakening. But even Capcom made Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, which I still haven't played, and I have to play those. But yeah, Link's Awakening, very impressed by it. I am picking this up, and like I said, maybe they'll make a 2D Zelda dungeon game called Legend of Zelda Maker. Who knows?
I'm probably gonna get this as well at some point. Maybe not immediately, but excuse me.
We need to get a T-shirt of just you burping. Sorry.
Krüz belch. Yeah, I'm like Aaron. That means I'm more like Aaron from Grumps. But of course, Aaron has a
God, ew.
interesting relationship with Legend of Zelda. But I like how it retains the classic kind of. Now we would think of it as, gamers now think of it as constrained, like not 2D, but like the faux 3D like setup of it. I think it looks really cool. It looks really good.
What do you have to say to all those people who say, "Oh, the graphics in this game are not like up to snuff because they look so cartoonish"? And I'm like,
Well, that's the style.
yeah,
People don't understand.
It's either
Games
that-
can't have their own style.
It's either
anymore.
that or you completely change the game. You could change how the graphics look and have the same mechanics work, or you can just make it an entirely different game, at which point there would be no point in calling it Link's Awakening. It would just be an entirely new game.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but it looks good for a quote unquote remake, but I like it.
Did you also fun fact? Did you also know that in Breath of the Wild they make a Koholint reference? I just thought you should know that. But anyway.
Anyway, so yeah, we have this game coming out
Well, not
on
game.
Friday. No. We have Link's Awakening coming out on Friday for $60. And then we also have Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch Remastered coming out on the 20th for the Switch for $60. Man, if only I had another $200 to spend on something.
Oh wait.
Because I have $320 in my pocket, and I've only spent $120. Maybe there's something I could pick up for specifically $200 that is kind of the antithesis of the Nintendo Switch. Oh, wait. I can pick that up totally. It's the Nintendo Switch Lite. Which removes the Joy-Cons and TV mode.
Yeah, it basically you put the Switch together and you just.
Anyway, continue.
In case any of you wanted visual aid stuff.
I personally don't have any idea how to announce this, because it's an oddball, really.
It's just kind of like when the DS, when the original DS and then the DS Lite came out, and you're like, okay.
But the
Yeah.
DS
Lite
Lite
was
was
a console improvement. It was more streamlined. It
That
was
was,
more
and then
efficient. It had a better
was
backlight.
and there was the DSi,
The DSi. We had
And the-
cameras
and
in
the
an online
3DS,
store, but
and
now
then
we
the-
don't have a Game Boy
and the
slot.
2DS, and then
See, now you can argue that
and then-
you could argue the 2DS, the original 2DS. The piece of toast.
I mean, yeah, but that's a joke. That's a joke console, if anything else. But anyway, just read what you have to say regarding
Anyway,
this.
This smaller version of the console comes in 3 colors: yellow, gray, and this turquoise, and is handheld only. As such, this console only directly supports games that can be played in handheld mode, which thankfully Pokemon, Let's Go, Eevee, and Pikachu can be played there. But if you want to play Mario Party, you gotta chill out $80 for a pair of Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
And it also retains features such as the gyroscopic sensors and Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and near-field communication. So you can scan amiibos. But,
Thank God.
It does not support any docking or connectivity to a TV, so it's incompatible with games that require TV mode. But you could play Mario Party in handheld mode. You just need Joy-Cons.
Yep.
Also, what game only supports TV mode and does not
It's
support
weird.
handheld mode?
So
That's
you
what
can
I
play.
want to know.
You can play a game with Joy Cons. Like, of course, as with the regular Switch, you can play it with just the Switch with the Joy Cons attached. But you can do that. But the Joy Cons on the Switch, which of course are part of the console for this one, you have to buy another set to play it separately. I'm like, that's a little bit like I get why they did this, but the timing, how late this was it's a little bit to me.
Not only that, it's not even an improvement to the
option,
Switch.
It kind of makes sense.
Option at launch.
It kind of makes sense more. It kind of makes sense more of like there was some poll on YouTube that was like, why, like, what is the reason that you would buy this console? And the number one thing was because I didn't have one to begin with. Yeah, sure. If you're on the road a lot more, or if you're you don't have a TV to plug it into, yeah, sure. If you don't have one already, then do it. And like that was. Well, I can't say this because I didn't actually buy it, but that's kind of the reason I wanted an Xbox One S, because it was smaller, it's easier to transport, and I didn't stream video or games. I didn't stream games, and that's not it. I didn't play 4K games, so that 4K capability didn't matter to me, and I didn't have a 4K TV to begin with, so the size was easily better. I got it as a birthday gift. But
anyway,
yeah, it's just because it didn't have one before, and it still works as the product is intended to.
Players will be notified of any games that are tabletop, that are TV mode only, or tabletop, like where you have to disconnect the Joy-Cons, which doesn't make sense because you could just have Joy-Cons lying around. However, you need a way to charge those Joy-Cons. You can't do that on its own, so you need to buy, a power adapter, like a charging adapter for Joy-Cons specifically only, which, the original, the basic Nintendo Switch, you know what that can do? That can charge your Joy-Cons.
It charges
even while it's not in dock mode.
Yeah. Yeah, which is just really, no. And
also, it does not contain like an HD rumble, but it doesn't, have any rumble whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So it does have some rumble. It's not, it's not the specific high def rumble. It's like, oh, it's coming from the right side. It's not,
No, I don't think it has any rumble at all.
This wouldn't be able to work with the Labo thing, of course. But yeah, it I don't know how many rumbly tumbly things it has inside itself. That's a sentence.
Like if you're playing Super Mario Odyssey and you need to shake like the Joy-Cons or something, or the the system, it does have those sensors in it, so you can do that.
Right.
Both, and so like, why do you have Joy-Cons built in? I mean, yeah, sure. But you're taking away part of one of the main selling points of the Switch, is that it's like, hey, here's a controller, so my friend from out of nowhere can just come along play Rocket League with me now.
At least the console,
Rocket League.
At least you can play other controllers on the console.
Yeah, at least you can hook up a Pro Controller or Joy-Cons or more stuff like that.
But again, you need the chargers for it.
But you need the chargers for it. But I will say, if you're just going to spend $200 so you can get an actual D-pad on the left Joy-Con, don't do that.
No,
If you already have a Switch, don't do it. If you don't, then consider what you need when buying it.
I do have to say, though, I am a little jealous that this console gets a freaking D-pad. No offense. I really like you play...
Oh, like altogether D-pad? Ah.
Yeah, you see that on the left Joy-Con?
I didn't notice that first, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it gets a D-pad.
That's the one thing I'm jealous of, and I'm like, yeah.
I kind of want that.
I will say, I don't.
I'm not going to buy a whole other thing for it, but
I don't like using the thumbstick for Super Mario World on the Switch because it's it's a thumbstick. It's meant for 3D games. But I also don't like using the four little buttons they have because it's 4 little buttons. It's not a D-pad.
Exactly.
So I actually end up going worse. And it's stupid.
Yeah,
if you're somebody who travels a lot and likes playing on the go. Like you have a break at work, and you don't really care about playing on your TV. I will say my sister already pre-ordered one because she's
Really?
like, when am I ever gonna have people over to play Mario Party or something like that? And she likes traveling, with friends. So like, I don't know, but she picked, and it's $100 cheaper than a Switch, which I mean is fine because it's more of a budget-oriented system,
Yeah.
and that's
It really-
fine. You have a budget option, which I feel like every console should have. They should have kind of the lower end one. You have the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, while you also have the Xbox One S and the regular PS4, which are cheaper.
Yeah.
And they have smaller hard drives, and you could upgrade them and everything. But
I just bought I bought a hard drive for mine.
that's what I did.
Partially because I bought Red Dead 2 or I got Red Dead 2 as a gift, and
100 gigabytes later.
Still have only one chapter through the game. Good God.
So yeah, I think we can all say like the
Goddamn long
only.
game.
I think the only thing that we can say about the system is that it has, like, the best thing about it is its D-pad, which I kind of wish was on the other Switch. No offense.
No, and there's like, you can just get aftermarket Joy-Cons that have that D-pad, or you can get the Hori pad for Daemon X Machina, which I still want to get, mind you. I still want to get that.
Yeah. Anyway, regarding Nintendo Switch Lite, what is
I mean, for $200, you're picking up a console. It doesn't, you don't have the dock, you don't have the Joy-Cons.
Remember, that's 200 plus tax, just so you know.
200 plus tax, but if you live in Montana, it's just $200.
does it not have the same USB 3
No,
thing
it's
at
still
the bottom?
USB-C. It's still USB-C.
Like,
If they change,
could you
the
put
port
it
to,
into
like, a
someone
lightning port
else's?
or something
Could you
like
put
that,
it into someone else's Switch dock and have it do it, or would it not
I
let
don't
you?
think it has.
No.
Like, how in the Switch dock, there's like there's a couple like pins underneath there that kind of
Yeah.
lock it into place and say, "Hey, by the way,
Oh, it
this
doesn't
is-"
have those.
Yeah, it probably doesn't have those.
It doesn't have those, and it's also a smaller,
It's a smaller size.
Well,
Yeah.
if it's smaller, it
So-
would still fit. But I was wondering, like, if there was something that would physically prevent it from working.
It just can't charge. You have to get it comes with a cable, I'm pretty sure. That would be pretty dickish if it didn't.
If it didn't come with a cable, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Mine came with the regular dock plug-in and then a other plug-in USB one thing.
Well, I
But
had a bunch of USB-C plugins around the house because of my phone, so I don't worry. I mean, if you do have $320 and you live in an area with no sales tax, you can pick up 2 games and a new system, all coming out on the 20th.
like all 3 people who live in Delaware.
But really, guys,
my sister's picking one up because she plays more on the go, and that's fine. She doesn't need the dock and everything. Because what if she wants to play in bed where she doesn't have a TV in her bedroom?
Whatever fits your fancy.
But yeah, the only thing I can really say is that the D-pad on it is nice, but that's about it. To wrap things up, can I finish your segment, or do you want to finish it?
Yes, go.
All right. To wrap things up, at $199.99 plus tax, if this is the console you're looking for, go right ahead. But to me, not really. Either way, it releases September 20th. I almost forgot to bring this up, and I had to, remind Naka, oh shit, that's a thing. So I had to, help him with that.
More like you wrote out the whole thing, and I just copy and pasted it into my agenda.
Right. I don't see this being a high seller anytime soon. I'd personally shell out the extra $100 for the new original Switch with better battery life. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. The new versions of the Nintendo Switch have better battery life than the older versions than the older versions that we have, and they're still the same price. I'm honestly surprised that they didn't charge more for a better battery life Nintendo Switch. But hey, I guess we'll just have to wait until another Nintendo Switch, comes along. And that's really all I have to say regarding Nintendo Switch Lite. So is that all, Naka?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
That's it.
Transition.
Yeah, move on to movies where James Gunn's Suicide Squad finally has a cast.
Yes.
Do you remember when he got fired from Disney for 6-year-old tweets that were jokes?
And then
Yeah,
he got.
you know what jokes are? Does anybody understand what an actual joke is? And does anybody actually understand that things were
Hey,
different 7
man,
years
it's
ago?
all about being PC.
And then he got rehired back to Disney. It's basically the whole Jonah Jameson thing. You're fired, Chief. The fan base.
Chief,
Oh,
you're
right,
you're unfired.
Come on, I need you. Come here. Basically,
You're unfired.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, just a heads up, nothing too big, but in case you were unaware, after the firing of James Gunn from Disney, he was instantaneously brought to Warner Brothers to direct the new Suicide Squad sequel. And man, does this announcement have a lot of promise to bring. It has a lot of actors in it, as well as returning actors from the original to bring in this film, with also a lot of names I haven't even heard of, so this is a good start. It was later reported that the film will serve as a relaunch of the Suicide Squad franchise, since the first film was extremely piss poor.
Thank God.
Which, all I can say is thank Christ.
I mean, it's like relaunch, as in we're pretending that didn't happen, or
exactly. That's exactly
so
what it
it's
is.
one of those moves.
Yes. Because I think James Gunn is actually going to do good with this one. The title has yet to be revealed for now, but I wouldn't mind it being called the Suicide Squad. Unfortunately, I do have to agree with the in the Batman that is starring Robert Pattinson should be dropped. But if this ties in,
Yeah, that's like Ohio
this would
State
have
being like the Ohio State. You know, fuck Ohio State. Go Gators.
Can we have a patent on the word "the" so nobody can use it anywhere else, not even in a sentence, without us getting royalties? Yeah, go fuck yourself, Ohio State.
Anyway, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Also, in case you guys don't notice, yes, James Gunn will be back at Disney after he, finishes creating this film, since, he was unfortunately fired and then got reinstated.
Fired and then unfired.
Basically. So what do you have to say regarding this?
I mean, we have do 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 do. And then we have Taika Waititi, a.k.a. probably the best MCU director there has been for,
Next to James Gunn, anyway.
Next to James Gunn, because, I mean, there's also the Russo brothers, but those are directors, not director.
Direct whores.
And, I mean, there's Taika Waititi, who is Taika Waititi, who is a gem. You have Margot Robbie,
who is going to be
reprising her role
as Harley Quinn.
And then Idris Elba.
I heard that Margot Robbie actually played Harley Quinn very well.
They did.
Yeah.
Also, Pete Davidson from SNL. And then I see the name Alice Braga, and I'm just like, I think to the Fast and Furious franchise, wait, is Braga coming back? I thought he was in prison. And then I realized, oh, it's somebody else who's not even, and this is a real person. This isn't a movie character. Because I'm stupid. Anyway, are we gonna move on to Taken meets Rambo?
Yeah, sure.
That's all I have to say about this next film. It's just Taken meets Rambo.
Well, talk about a franchise that really seemed to disappear, and after 11 years, finally coming back to do supposedly the last of the series. Case in point, Rambo: Last Blood is an upcoming American action thriller film directed by Adrian Grunberg and co-written by Sylvester Stallone, who also reprises his role as Vietnam War veteran John Rambo. A sequel to Rambo 2008 and the fifth installment in the Rambo franchise, it co-stars Paz Vega, Sergio Perez Mencheta, Adriana Barraza, Yvette Monreal, Jeannie Kim, Joaquin Cosio, and Oscar Heinada. I'm probably butchering that, but anyway. Almost 4 decades after they drew first blood, see what I did there, John Rambo must confront his past and unearth his ruthless combat skills to exact revenge in a final mission. A deadly journey of vengeance to Mexico to save his niece, who suddenly has been taken hostage by a sadistic Mexican cartel. Remember my comment earlier about this film just kind of reappearing out of thin air, out of nowhere? Well, upon viewing this trailer, I am sadly one of the unlucky few who never watched a single Rambo film and therefore know extremely very little about the series and the character.
I only played the arcade video game immediately.
So, unfortunately, I can't really talk too much about it or have a whole lot to say about it. I don't really know how to feel towards this movie. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. I don't know if the story is the story Sylvester Stallone insists on telling. I just don't know. This is the rarest time where, sadly, I can't really think of anything to criticize. More so, I just don't know what to think of.
Who knows? Maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger makes a surprise camo in this movie as Commando. Because you ever play Akari Warriors for the NES? Well then, who are you? Like you're saying to your friend, who are you supposed to be? John Rambo. And then he asks, well then, who are you supposed to be? And I just say, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Which movie? Commando. That would be a fucking awesome movie. John Rambo and John Matrix in fighting side by side together. That would be that
John
movie would be
Matrix himself.
that movie would be called Rambo Commando. Say that 3 times fast. Rambo Commando, Rambo Commando, Rambo Commando. Anyway, all I have to say is that this is it's taken with Rambo in it instead of Liam Neeson.
Sadly for me, unless the film has been getting legendary reviews, I just don't know whether or not I will be seeing this movie. But for all the Rambo fans scattered amongst us who are excited, whether or not this movie is good or bad, and I hope it's good, this is definitely a movie for you. The film releases September 20th. What do you have to say regarding this film? I understand you said it's like Rambo meets Taken, but it's also its own thing. Like this series existed like back in the mid 80s, Naka. I mean, you got to give it that, but
yeah.
I mean, but anyway, Krüz, what do you have to say regarding this film?
Again, like a few other people, I haven't actually seen the Rambo movies, though I know what Rambo's about. It's basically, all guns blazing, which is also a good Judas Priest song that Sabaton has covered. That's basically that kind of balls to the wall action movie. I think this is hopefully this franchise is smart enough to do this as closure, so to speak.
Right.
So like this is like the final chapter versus being like the final destination, which isn't actually the final destination kind of thing, how that is. Yeah, I think I don't know if I'll go, it might take a bit like to go out of the way to go and see it. I mean, the last movie I went out to see was It 2, which I really enjoyed, as I talked about, I guess, some other point. But I don't know. I feel like I might see this and then see what the other Rambo movies have to offer. Because I believe the only experience I have with Rambo, other than knowing what the movie's about, was some arcade game at like Dave and Buster's or something. So, but yeah, I get what Rambo is like, the old school action hero kind of thing. And, of course, that's also Liam Neeson's expertise. So I can see how people will say like, oh, it's just Taken with more guns or whatever. But I mean, you want something that's probably going to be a last hurrah, balls to the walls kind of deal. I imagine that's what you're going to expect here.
I mean, yeah, if it's actually the series is going to be put to rest, then yeah, hopefully it just goes all out.
For all the fans, but scattered about who it's really all I can say. Anyway, do you want to move on to the next big trailer that is also going to be coming out soon?
Somebody that you think is Matt Damon, but it's not Matt Damon.
No. How many times...
I stole that joke from you.
Yeah.
I stole that joke from you. You don't get to say it. I stole that joke from you.
How many times has Brad Pitt played an astronaut? Oh, confused it from Matt Damon.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I said the joke, and you just went ahead and said it again anyway to kill the bit.
Well,
Whoops.
I didn't really find it all that funny. Sorry, I just... Anyway. Ad Astra is a 2019 American science fiction adventure film produced, co-written, and directed by James Gray, starring Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones, Ruth Negga, Liv Tyler, and Donald Sutherland.
And before any of you guys say anything, and this gets reported to everybody that the red person used the N-word, that's their name.
Well, there's a word we say every day that includes the N-word, and I just found out about it, and it is...
The project was announced in early 2016, with Gray saying he wanted to feature the most realistic depiction of space travel that's been put in a movie. The movie had its world premiere at the Venice Film Festival on August 29th, receiving positive reviews from critics, with Pitt's performances acquiring unanimous praise. The film's basic premise is about an astronaut named Roy McBride who travels to the outer edges of the solar system to find his missing father and unravel a mystery that threatens the survival of our planet. While doing so, apparently he gets mixed up knowing certain secrets that challenge the nature of the human existence that asks why has our place end up like they did in the cosmos. The film is directed by James Gray, who had the opportunity to direct The Lost City of Zed. Yes, that's that's the correct pronunciation.
Yeah,
It's
because it was
because
made by a British
Canadian.
person.
yes.
Something.
Which sadly I haven't had the time to look at, but have heard many good things about. Knowing that this film actually got really good reviews is admittedly a very good thing to hear, because I love it when a director that I hardly know about takes the time to actually spread his wings to straighten their resume. And here's no exception. At least that's what I get from the trailer. I don't really have much to say regarding the premise of the film, since I am actually more intrigued by it than I am driven to go see it. But that's all the reason why I want to see it all the more. I loved Interstellar, and I'm a huge fan of science fiction that isn't always Star Wars or Star Trek. And while this film isn't directed by Christopher Nolan, I kind of want to see if the director has put his money where his mouth is, being that he stated the most realistic depiction of space travel that's been put in a movie. I guess we'll have to find out. The film releases on September 20th.
Off topic, I see Train Coyote come in with Yap Yap, and I just think of Yap Yap the Destroyer, which is, you know,
Yeah.
it's a little gag character from Halo, because, you know, Yap Yap the Destroyer is a grunt character. And do I have to mention the very famous
It's
line?
one of my buddies, one of my local buddies.
So, Naka, I have a really good question.
Can I finish my joke, please?
Yes.
Can I finish my joke?
Yes.
And Yap Yap, who is also, I guess, you know, in Halo 3, you kill the grunt with the I would have been your daddy skull on, which enables all the funny lines. You just hear a grunt after you kill one. He's like, he killed Flip Yap. Or Yap Flip, was he? No, he was Flip Yap. Don't tell me I don't know Flip Yap. Flip Yap and I went to Nipple Academy together. I'm sorry, I got reminded of that line when I saw Train Coyote type Yap Yap.
Anyway, can you,
Nippleopolis.
Yes,
like-
I want this movie. Put it in my butt.
you really want to see this movie?
Yes, I loved Interstellar. I loved Gravity.
Wait, you saw
So much.
Interstellar? Wow.
I saw it in IMAX
Oh, me too.
when it came out.
I saw it in IMAX as well. I saw it in IMAX 3D. I was blown away by it. I was impressed.
Don't think I saw it in IMAX. I saw it in a good theater. I saw it in Florida, but it was I think it was a relatively big theater.
What was your opinion of Interstellar, Krüz?
It was really good because it kept the story. It somehow managed to work itself out without giving too much away, and also still leaving you it still left you kind of confused, but you
Right.
kind of get it. It gave you just enough to like work it out by yourself while we were driving home from our cousins drove us home from the movie. Yeah, well, hello, Taryn friends.
Anyway,
Yeah, because him and I got to hang out in Baltimore a few, last week or something. So, however long ago I drank, I can't remember, but yeah, he's one of my local boys.
I
He's one of
drink
my
to
local
forget,
boys.
but I always remember.
I'm also
So,
not sober. Neither am I. High five.
so what do you have to say regarding this particular film, Naka?
Put it in my butt. I want it there.
Really?
Yes, I want.
That's right.
I want to see this movie.
You want to?
Plus, they're going back to the goddamn moon. They're like racing buggies on the goddamn moon.
Put a projector, bend over, and be like, "All right, I'm ready." Is this how it works?
No, I'm really, really excited for Ad Astra. I really want this movie to come out now.
I really want to see it too, because I heard you were you're a big connoisseur of sci-fi. I'll just leave it at that.
Why do you
Yeah.
think I enjoy Halo so much?
Exactly. Krüz, you're gonna see this movie, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, September 20th. Maybe on maybe was it this Saturday? Okay, yeah, I suppose I could this Saturday because normally it's that are because I go to college, of course, and their college football game, but we don't have this upcoming game is not a home game, so I could probably go and see it. nothing else has pressing needs, I can go and see it. And I think, the last movie I saw Brad Pitt in, which was, of course, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that is it. That is our week ahead, ladies and gentlemen. We are now going to move on to the coming attractions, and there's some pretty interesting ones. We're going to start out with Jexy, a comedy about what can happen when you love your phone more than anything else in your life. I don't want to say this is going to be a bad movie, but at the same time, if you guys never saw the movie Her, you really need to see the movie.
There was a comment on the video that said this is basically a sucky version of Her. I mean, I haven't seen Her either. I get the premise of it,
Right.
but the actor, of course, is I'm not going to dox myself, but he vaguely shares a namesake of mine. I like that when he dumps the phone in the trash and it's like, you don't know how to get home, do you? And he's like, fuck. I'm like, yeah, sometimes that is me, but it's like today, and I was driving back home from Baltimore. It's like I only put the GPS on so that like it gives me the route to get back to the highway, because sometimes you have to go out of your way to get back into it because stadium traffic and all that shit. But yeah, I guess it'll play with that kind of bit. Like, you don't know where the fuck you're going. You're like, shit, I don't. But then I can also see how it gets a little cheesy with it. Cheesy is a little too much.
Naka, what do you
like better cheddars.
Naka, what do you have to say regarding this one?
The premise alone is just like, why do I feel like my sister could be literally the center point of this film and it would still work?
Apparently you haven't seen Her, and you really need to.
No, I saw my sister yesterday.
I said, oh, yeah. I was talking about the film Her.
No, I know what you were talking about. I was making a joke.
Okay. But yeah, it's a quirky comedy.
Also, I laughed like Peter Griffin there for a second. I'm concerned.
Quieter.
Anyway, let us move on to our next film, which is also about phones. Countdown. A young nurse downloads a phone app that claims to predict exactly when a person is going to die.
No.
It tells her she only has 3 days to live. She must find a way to save her life before time runs out.
Why do I feel like this is some weird version of the Metaverse app from Persona 5?
Web movie.
There's a Metaverse app?
Have you not played Persona 5?
No.
Never mind then. Only people who have played Persona 5 know what I'm talking about.
Wait, did you play Persona 5?
I am in the... my friend is doing a series of streams because one of my other friends has never played it before and never seen it.
Oh.
So we're doing kind of a combination blind playthrough because I've also never seen it. All I know is that you drive a bus at one point, but that's about all I know.
But does the game look good? Would you get it?
I don't have a PS4. Oh, it's out for PS3, but what games am I going to buy new for PS3?
Oh.
But,
Yeah,
if I had a PS4, I'd probably pick it up because, contemporary RPG, and then, you play technically as a silent protagonist, but you also have different answers and the game can go different ways. But I would probably pick it up, but not the point. Not the point.
No.
But, you find an app, you're going to die in 3 days because somebody's going to have a target on you. It's like, we're watching every movie you have. It's dark web, it's all this, narcolepsy,
Oh, they've seen the video of the narcoleptic dog.
Anyway.
It's so cute, but so sad. It's like he's just running around in the yard and then he just falls over and it's just like, it's so sad, but so cute.
Anyway, guys, what do you have to say regarding this film?
Maybe. This gets a maybe out of 10 for me to go see it.
It gets 2 pee-pee poo-poos.
All right.
Yeah,
because when you poo-poo, you always go pee-pee, but every time you go pee-pee, you don't always have to go poo-poo.
It just goes bing-bong.
Can we...
Yes, we'll get away from the toilet humor.
Anyway, let's move on to our next trailer, Bad Boys for Life. A police inspector and his former partner is in a midlife crisis. They unite again with an Albanian mercenary whose brother they killed promises them an important bonus. Okay, so this is basically, if you've never seen Bad Boys 1 or 2, this is basically the continued sequel, I
I think I've seen the
believe.
second one. I'm like, I don't know what they're doing with the Albanians, but I know that the Albanians are in, the Balkans.
I never watched a single Bad Boys film,
Did
so
you
I
just
really
say the
don't...
Balkans? We know this. It's the Balkans. It's the Balkans from Ace Combat.
Oh.
Balkans, same diff.
Yeah.
It's just like same. Granted, not as fucked as Hungarian, I can tell you that.
No. And what do you have to say regarding this particular film, Naka Krüz?
I'm already pissed. They're not in a Ferrari 550. They're in a Porsche 911 for the car chase. I'm just like, God damn it. I mean, the original one had a pretty badass Porsche 964, which is, it's the 911 of that time. But they're in just like a brand new 911. Yeah, it's the 992S model. And I mean, it's a new 911, all that kind of stuff. But it's just, that's my main issue with it. It's like, it's already not going to have something that made the Bad Boys franchise great, was take a Ferrari 550/575 because they were weird with it in filming, but they're not going to have, this awesome Grand Touring V12 Ferrari in another car chase, probably because, you can't do that anymore, and Ferrari probably has a stick up its ass anyway, but that's already one reason why I'm probably not going to go see this. Not because I think it's going to be a bad movie, but it's because I have a personal connection and why I think it's going to suck, because it doesn't have the same Ferrari or a similar Ferrari from Bad Boys 2.
The Ferrari, the best actor in the movie.
Yes.
You're really gonna get like, all ants.
Yes, he has already gotten that.
I will get butthurt about stuff like this because it boils my goddamn blood.
Well,
can we move on to a movie that's probably gonna suck?
Announce this trailer.
Like a boss. I see what you did there. You know that Lonely Island song where they say, where half the lyrics are just like a boss. Chop my balls off like a boss.
Like a
boss.
boss.
You've seen the goddamn Vinyl Wendy's commercial.
I'm done.
It's
All right.
like a boss. Stop.
Right. Like a boss. Two female friends with very different ideals decide to start a beauty company together. One is more practical while the other wants to earn her fortune and live a lavish lifestyle. What do you have to say regarding this movie? This trailer, rather. It looks like I mean, I wish I can like it, but nah.
To quote South Park, it's like, what is this, Tyler Perry comedy?
I mean,
like just.
Oh, we have different ideals. We like each other in the beginning, but we're now gonna hate each other halfway through, and then we're gonna reconcile our differences and realize I was wrong, you were right. We have to go this way. But it's also supposed to be a comedy, and it's like, we got to be funny about it too. But it's also got to be, dramatic and everything. So it just, fuck you.
Anyway,
fuck this movie.
And politically correct because.
Anyway, that's all I have to say regarding Like a Boss. But I guess we can get down to our final two trailers of the night. The King, which is going to be released on Netflix. A wayward prince is crowned king after his tyrannical father dies. Now the young king must navigate palace politics, the war his father left behind, and the emotional strings of his past life. And yeah, it looks
Kings.
Good.
Yay, monarchy.
God, it's so weird to see Pattinson with long fucking hair, but relatively long hair. But I'm like, if you want a real epic story about kings, Amon Amarth Ironside.
Look, Krüz, you're gonna have to get with the program here. Robert
Ironside
Pattinson
is a king. He's the king of the Swedes.
I do not deny that, but Robert Pattinson is coming back in a big way.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's weird to see. But I was like, "Where's Robert Pattinson?"
He's saying it's just weird to see
Where's
him with longer hair.
Pattinson? And I'm like, he has like this flowing blonde hair. I'm like,
well, I don't know. We're so used to like making fun of.
He's never had that hair.
I know, but like, here's the thing: we make fun of Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart a lot, and it's like all because
I don't make fun of Robert Pattinson. I just feel like he fucked up with his choices to do Twilight. But you know what he was very good in? Harry Potter 4.
He was coming back.
That's my son. That's my boy.
He's coming back in a good way, should I say? I mean, if you ever get the chance to actually watch, more films with him. But anyway, I don't know if I'll actually see it. I heard it's okay. I don't know if anyone will ever watch it, but hey, it's there. Do you want to see this film, Naka? If it's on Netflix, meh. Just meh?
Hey, Shudder's here. Unfortunately, we're at the tail end of the show, but
we are at the.
Hey, you made it.
I still gotta finish The Punisher and Astra's Evil Dead. All that.
We are at the tail end of the show, but we have one more trailer to announce, and that's Just Mercy. A civil rights defense attorney recounts his experience and details the case of a condemned death row prisoner whom he fought to free. And yeah.
Before I watched the trailer, I thought, like, is this going to be technically about the case that was, talked about in To Kill a Mockingbird, or am I crazy?
But no, it's actually something completely different.
And now for something completely different.
But yeah, everything is a film, basically. So yeah, I kind of want to see this film. I don't know. Michael B. Jordan does a really good job. I think he's a very good actor. And Jamie Foxx,
first basketball player, now an actor, getting so many roles. Where will his life go to after this? Yes, I know they are two separate people. I was making a joke.
Yes, but anyway. But yeah, guys, what do you have to say regarding this film? It looks good. Oscar-worthy, to say the least.
Oh, yeah. I didn't want to bring it up because I felt like it would be, it would be Krüz. Because this happened in the middle of the show. I was looking at Twitter in between like one of our segments, and then I saw that, and I'm just like, I don't want to say anything in case Krüz saw it. No.
But yeah.
Do you see what's in chat? Do you see what Shutter posted in chat?
What did I see? What did I see or not see?
I'm a bit bummed out hearing about the... Oh. I did not know about this, no.
The lead singer of the Cars has passed away.
My dad loved that band.
First Eddie Money, and now the lead singer of the Cars.
God fucking damn it! Really? Oh man, I was just with my dad earlier today. He loves that band.
There's also, unfortunately, another thing that happened earlier today during the middle of the show, was that if you followed the NASCAR Wheel and Modified series in the 90s and early 2000, in like the 80s and 90s. There is, you may have heard the name Mike Stefanik, and he was tragically killed in a plane crash this afternoon.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so not a good weekend. Not a good weekend for people living and then dying.
Anyway, yeah, but anyway, regarding Just Mercy, would you go see this film?
I mean, maybe, but I don't know. At the same time.
All right, well, Krüz, what do you have to say regarding Just Mercy? Anything?
I mean, I think it kind of reminds me of Marshall with Chadwick Boseman, and of course, this crossover of because both actors, of course, were in Black Panther. Michael B. Jordan was in Black Panther, who's the villain, and of course, me being a Rooster Teeth fan, he was also the main. Michael B. Jordan was the voice of the main character in Rooster Teeth's Genlock show on their website, but I think it's kind of going to be like one of the like a same feel as that movie, Marshall, of course. I feel like it's gonna be quite similar to that. I did enjoy the movie Marshall, but it might not be something I go and see in theaters, but it was something I would probably enjoy nonetheless.
Anyway, all right. Well,
hold on. Can I find it? Yes. Sports Nation tweeted out this morning. Breaking: 10-year-old Ash Ketchum wins the Alola League Championship.
22.
His first Pokemon League championship in his 20-year career.
Give a round of applause for our boy Ash.
Yeah, you really like Ash Ketchum finally.
That's like the Capitals finally winning the Stanley Cup since 1974. We've been waiting.
Anyway, that is it for our show for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Give us your money, but don't really give us your money.
I joke about saying give us your money, but really. And because I watch a lot of Mr. Arrow HD, by the way, have you heard of Twitch Prime? If you have Twitch Prime, you, the people who are listening right now, either the live stream or, the VOD, if you go to, and I'm going to type this out. If you have Twitch Prime and you go to that website, twitch.tv/MrArrowHD, and you subscribe with Twitch Prime, you get access to some emotes, you get access to subscriber-only streams, which don't really happen that often, and you get ad-free viewing on that person's stream.
Okay, but why should we care?
Why should you care? Because if you have Twitch Prime, you can subscribe to anybody on Twitch for free, or else you could just come over to YouTube and subscribe to us for free. And my main point was donating for us especially, and for small streamers, donations, they mean so much to us.
Yes, they do.
They do.
And even just showing up and watching the live stream VODs afterwards and everything like that.
Someone's gotta take.
I know Chadu's lurking here because I
Kyle
still
might
see
let
him in the
this go
chat.
to
And
his
Chadu
head.
knows what I'm talking
Someone else
about.
gotta, give him a run for his money. I'm fine.
But just
Anyway,
showing
not
up,
a
supporting a
competition,
stream,
but
chatting every once in a
We
while,
definitely appreciate
it helps us
everyone
out.
who has supported this shit, our shenanigans, since 2016. How have we been allowed to do this? I don't know, but fuck, we love you people.
Anyway, guys, that is our show
You're
for tonight.
breathtaking.
That is our show for tonight, guys. I am Scarfy.
I am the spinning spaghetti wizard known as Naka.
I'm Krüz.
And that has been Subwoofer Entertainment. We hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Stay awesome and stay awesome. Have a good night, guys.
All right, everybody have a good night. Have a good week, and go Hawks!